Alright, welcome back to another YouTube video. I'm super excited for this one. Super excited to show you guys what I got for you. And for the first time ever, I've actually flipped the monitor so that everything that I write actually makes sense for you guys. So I'm super excited, I'm super stoked, because this is going to be the first ever video where everything actually falls in place. So yes, this video I'm going to be explaining the death of blind grinding. See, most people just grind and grind and grind, but does it matter if you're grinding if you're not getting results? What's the point? There is no point in doing that, and that is exactly what I'm going to talk about. You see, there's this concept on why 10,000 hours of bad practice just makes you an expert at being bad. You need to have feedback. You need to understand what you're doing wrong so you can actually fix it. There's no point in you doing the same thing over and over again and not getting results. You're just going to get good at doing the wrong things. So first, you have the setup, okay? So we have a big circle. See, we have the input. You see, at the input, there's action in the beginning. You got action. You know, most of you guys think the secret is just more action, more doing, more hustling. And even when you guys think about that, you guys don't actually do it. Most people do. I'm not saying my viewers do. What I'm saying is most people in general have action, but don't actually implement it. So they never even begin with the first circle, which is completely wrong, and it just messes everything up. You see? But let me tell you something. You've been probably told to grind and hustle, but action without a loop is just a treadmill. You're not going anywhere. You're not actually getting better. You see? At the end of the day, you're just running in the same place and you're getting nowhere. It's a little Timmy. You're running, it doesn't matter because you're not moving forward, so there's no point. There's no effect on anything. You see? And then we have the data. After you take an action, we have your data. It's little Timmy. He's running on the treadmill. He's taking action. He's gathered data now. You see? This, after you take all the action and you get a result, maybe it's $0. Maybe you get a lot of no's from potential clients, leads. And most people see this as a failure and just quit. But winners sees this as hard-coded data. They see this as live input in data that they can go take, extrapolate, and formulate a new action plan to actually succeed. You see, rejection at the end of the day is just data. I want you to think anything like in terms of assets providing value. The whole world is just a video game, and rejection is just data. What you acquire, knowledge, those are assets that make your value go up. Think of the world in these different terms: investor, business terms. You see, after you get an action, you get the result, and it's just data. I want you to remember that. You know, and then you continue to take action, and then you finally begin to audit the action. You come to a conclusion after gathering the data. Let me make sure you guys can see that. Yeah, you guys can. You see, you audit the data. What does that mean? This is usually where most business owners fail because they don't actually audit the data. They got rejected, got an input, and then they stop before they even get here. They stop. There's a line because they don't audit. They just do the same action again. So instead of going to here, they just go back here, which is wrong. It's completely wrong. You see, this is the definition of insanity. As you probably heard of a lot of YouTubers, a lot of business entrepreneurs. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same result. You don't want to do that. You want to learn from your mistakes. You see, you have to put your results through a filter on what worked, what didn't, and why it didn't work. Most people are too lazy to do that and will spend more time doing the same thing that's wrong and getting nowhere than actually looking at what they're doing wrong and fixing it. You see? At the end of the day, you need to analyze. You can't be scared to look at this and realize that there could be something wrong. And that's the truth. And finally, you adjust. After you audit, you see what you're doing wrong. You adjust. You've taken action, you've gathered data, you've been rejected, or you've been accepted. If you've been accepted, you know it's working. So you reiterate and you refine what you did. If not, you're going to audit yourself, see what you're doing wrong. And then you're going to adjust what you're doing wrong so you can do better. And that's the truth of it. You see, based on the audit, you change tactics, you change methods. You see what works and what doesn't so you can implement what works. You don't change the actual mission, your goal of being successful or running a certain business model. You change the method on how you go about approaching things. This is the pivot. This is where the skills actually build because you're able to identify maybe what works for someone on the internet might not work for you. Maybe you had to do it a different way. Maybe you have to do whatever you're doing differently so you can get results. And that's true. From here on, little Timmy starts to level up. Why? Because he adjusted, he improved. See, this, you're getting actual skill. And then you change your mindset. You see, when you adjust, your next action is at a higher level than the first one. What does that mean? Instead of doing things back to the start, what you do is this. Now that you adjusted, you're on to a bigger circle. And basically, you redo that at a more refined level. You've gone past this cycle, and you need to go to the next one. You got to see what's next on your business, what you need to do, what you need to focus on, and get on this new circle. You see, it's higher and higher. It's like a little spring if you think about it. It just keeps going. You keep escalating, you keep getting better, you keep those results going. You can just keep on climbing. When you adjust, your next action is at a higher level than the first one. You're not just running in a circle anymore or a hamster wheel. You're in an upward spiral. And this is where a beginner actually becomes a master. And if you take these inputs, you get better. In 12 months, you'll be doing way better than anyone that's just doing the same lap over and over again and doing the same continual mistakes. You see, after long spiral, see, it keeps spiraling, but imagine this is going up. After a lot of spiral, give me 1 second. Bye, Timmy. You see, after a long spiral, oh, I forget it's what. But imagine it's a long spiral. Imagine Imagine it's a long spiral on this side. You finally get to mastery. And that's the goal. Not falling into the same wheel, doing the same things that you know won't get you results. Master what it takes for you to become successful. Keep doing the same thing, reiterate, get the results, get better and better every single time. And that's all I have for today. The circle on adjusting, getting better, and not just staying in the same place. Improve, level up, but still, you should hustle, you should grind, but with intention. Not just doing the same things that aren't getting you results. If you're able to stay through this video, you'll find a lot of value. Those who can't stay, who can't stick through a maybe 11-minute video, I don't know about these people. I don't want to criticize because I want to get to where I need to be, and I'm just here providing value. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you guys can watch my business journey grow, and hopefully, not hopefully, when I, achieved the success I want to, I'm going to be documenting everything. So those who stay with me, see my journey, see that what I'm talking about is not bullshit. It's real. It's real work. It's real progress. So I'm rooting for you. I hope you get better every single day. You stay grinding, and I'll see you at the top. Have a good one. Make sure to like, subscribe, and tell your friends about my channel.